How's it going, everybody? I wanted to finish up the series. Um, Last video that I shot, things got kind of hosed up, and I wasn't able to get Frame Relay to work. So I have since fixed a few things on my computer, and in the process of doing so, I hope that I can get Frame Relay to work the way I had intended it to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically do what we were doing before, and that is the topology has changed a little bit. I've made it a little more streamlined. It's not as not as jumbled up. It's a lot more clean. But what I'm going to do basically is this: is I'm going to go through and I'm going to configure. This is all going to be WAN stuff. Once I get the WANs working, the point-to-point connection here, and I'll explain why I have two connections here. I'm actually going to redo the video. This is going to be the Frame Relay one, and then I've already done a PPP one. So I'm just going to get PPP running on this one, and I'll show you how that config works, and I'm not going to do as much explaining as I did in that video in this one. So I'm going to get Frame Relay up and running. And the purpose behind this Frame Relay it's really simple. Frame Relay is a high performance WAN connection. So what it does is allows you to use your internet connection to telco and be able to have permanent virtual circuits, or PVCs, through the internet to your other branch offices. Now, T1s, as they're typically known as, it's a 1.5 megabit circuit. They're expensive, very expensive. A couple $1,000s per month. Per circuit. So if you have multiple circuits, that's multiple thousands of dollars. So it could be 5 circuits. You get a 10 grand a month going out just for internet connectivity between your branch offices. So, and that just depends on the environment you run and stuff like that. And it depends on how you want to set it up. So in this demonstration, I'm going to go through and I'm going to configure Frame Relay, as I've already got it up and running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same IP addressing scheme as we were using before. The 172.20.0.136/29 is going to be over here. Then this guy over here, I forget what I put on him. 168, I think it was. 172.20.0.168 and /30. So it'll be 169 and 170 going across. And then this guy right here is going to be our telco. So what we're going to do is, I know in the original one, I'm going to slide this guy over, that we had the DNS server sitting over here, and this guy went through and did that. We can easily do that, totally. We can configure a loopback address and have the DNS server pointing to that, and all DNS does is it goes out. Real simple to do, not hard at all, and we would just set up our records in DNS to point this way. Same thing with all of our telco information. If we want to get to a subnet that is not listed inside of our own routing, we'll ship it out to telco. We'll ship it out to the ISP. So as I don't know if you caught it when I first fired it up, but I already have some configuration set up to where I went out and, instead of manually assigning an IP address to my router's fast Ethernet interface, I just had my local DHCP server assign me an address. So by doing that, it allows me to bring my local network into GNS3 through this cloud you see right here. What that does is I'm able to ping real addresses, real internet addresses. So I will actually ping that one again. And it's going to take it a second to go out, because it's legitimate internet. It's 100% real internet. And this is, so that's one thing I like about GNS3. Unlike Packet Tracer, it doesn't allow you to connect to a real environment. Where if I had my rack of equipment fired up, I'd be able to connect to that, and that would be able to get out to the internet. So eventually, I have a 3640 sitting here that I will eventually connect to my network here, and that will stay on. That will be my VPN concentrator, if I don't get a VPN router before that. So what I have here, I don't have much going in terms of configuration. I have My router's being a little funny right now, but you may notice this, and I have a default route out to my. This guy right here is the 192.168.1.1, which is my home router. And then I can set up NAT on this guy to where it'll NAT any of these addresses out, and I can do that. That's not a problem at all. And then I can do NAT overload, so I can set up all of my DHCP pools here and ship them out this way. But before I do any of that, I will get this guy set up to where it will. I'll get frame relay rolling first before I do anything. So one of the first things I want to do is this. I want to look at this, and one is 102 and 103, 2 is 201 and 203, and 3 is 301 and 302. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'll do 102, 103. I'll do 201 and 203, and then I will do one more over here, and that will be 301 and 302. Because what that does is, in order to get to router 2, you're going to use del C 102. In order to get to router 3, you're going to get to 103. Now I could flip those, but whatever. It's amazing. I mean, I think you know what? Why not? Actually, what I'll do is I'll kill these routers, stop them, and I'll flip that around to make it easier for you guys to. You won't get confused quite as easily. So what I'll do is I will kill this, delete, because I haven't configured anything yet. So what I'll do is I'll go with manual, and then this will go serial 0 to 3, and this guy will go to 2. Oh, yeah, I know I can't do that. 2. So it's 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 1 to 1. So we have that situated. Refire the routers back up. Give those a minute to do their thing. We'll start on router 1. We're already on router 1 right now. So we're gonna go ahead and it's because my other routers are booting up. It takes it a minute. So there we go. It does take some time. So you almost have to be kind of patient. Okay, cool. It is running a little slow. And actually, hang on one second for me. Yeah, I've still got, they're still booting up in the process, so I'm gonna console into it. Yeah, they're still doing their thing here. And console. Yeah, you wanna, cool. So they're good to go. Okay, oh, I see what happened here. Okay, we're good there. So this extra R2 and R3 here. R2, kill that one and kill this one. So, alright, because you don't want to have too many open here. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to R1, click on this guy. Cool. Still running a little slow. Okay, now that we got that situated, I'm going to pretty much just run through the config, and I'll make it pretty straightforward. There's not going to be anything, no funny business, pretty straightforward stuff, and we're just going to get the configuration up and running. So I know serial 0 on all of the routers is the connection to it, so that'll be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go into config T, interface serial 0/0, and cap frame relay. So exit. If you don't want to put your frame relay information on a physical interface. You always want to do it on a sub interface. It just makes it more scalable. So we're going to go interface serial 0/0.102. And we're going to do multi-point. So we're going to type in we're going to do IP address is going to be 172.20.0.137 on this guy, router 1. And then we're going to 255.255.255 255.248, enter. And then we're just going to do that. So, exit once. Now, you could do a serial 0.103 and do that as well. There's nothing stopping that. And I almost recommend that in a situation like this because you have multiple subinterfaces. So you could put the map statements underneath each one, but in this case, I'm going to go interface 0.103 multipoint, and I'm going to type in IP address. Oh, wait a minute, no, I don't have to do that. See what I do to myself? I messed myself up. Because you need an IP address. So we're gonna type in exit. Or actually, we're gonna type in no. Control A. There. And that's fine. That's completely fine. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go interface 0.0/0.102. Type in frame relay map IP, and we're gonna map 172.20.0.138. And we're going to make 138 the even router, so that's going to be router 2, and the odd router 139, because it's, router 3. So, I wonder if there's a place I could put this. Hang on. Let me slide this to the right. Hey, how about, there we go, that's better. And I'll move this stuff over just a little bit, so I get more room to do this. And let's bring this in and over. Squish this over. Hey, what do you know? It worked. And then we're gonna give it del C. We're gonna give that del C 102, and we're gonna broadcast that. Oh, I see what I did. You have to put the map statement in there before you can do any of that. There, that'll take it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this .9 or 139, and it's going to be 103. So there, and show frame map. They're administratively down. Oh, it's because I haven't turned it on yet. Config T interface 0.0/0 no shut. So that'll bring that up. And there we go, and do that one more time. And they are deleted. Well, you're like, that can't be good. Well, it is. Just give it a second. It'll be fine. The reason it's deleted is because these routers over here don't have configuration on them yet. That's why. So we're gonna take this guy, squish it down just a little bit, and we're gonna hit up arrow one just one more time, just for okay. It still says down. So show IP interface brief, just as a clarification for my own intuition here. And yep, it's definitely down, and that's but this is up. It's physically plugged in down. The frame relay isn't running across yet. So we're going to slide this guy up here, and then we're going to go to R2. That's going to be our this will be our 1.138 router. So we're going to go show IP interface brief. This one may run just a little quicker, and it does. So we're going to go config T interface 0.0/0. Type in incap frame relay. And then we're going to give this a subinterface of 301. I give it that one because it's the one pointing back to router 1, and this one will get 201 because it's pointing back. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll flip these guys over here. That'll work. Right? Port 2, 201. Yeah, that'll work. Router 1, because we have to get to 102. Yep, we're good. And if there's any question about that, we'll be okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring up router 2, which I was just at, and click that off. I don't like that. We're going to type in interface 0.0/0.201 multipoint. If you don't put the multipoint in there, you've only got one other choice, and that other choice is, beg your pardon? Okay, that's better. Point to point and multi-point. Multi-point means you can have multiple interface DLCs on there, and point to point means you can only have one. So, obviously, we're going to go multi-point. So we're going to type in IP address is going to be 172.20.0.138, and then we're going to type in 255.255.255.255.248, and then we're going to hit frame map IP 172.20.0.137 is going to go out 201.1 broadcast, and then we're going to do the same thing for 139, and that one's going to be 203 because it's going from branch 2, or from router 2 to router 3, and there. Now we have that. And so show frame map. You know what? Control U, config T, interface 00/0, no shut. Give that a second for it to pull itself up. There that goes. And let's see here. Is it going to do anything else? I don't know. And it did. So we're going to do this, show frame map. And they're showing up as deleted. Still. Active and active. It just may need time for it to do its frame relay statements. That's okay though. At least this one's working here. And we're gonna go to router 3 now. Actually, just click on this guy. 4. I got 2 4s open. Goodbye. And we're gonna console router 3. So router 3, we'll slide this guy down and in, and config T. Do show IP interface brief 0/0/0, and we're going to type in interface 00/0, and type in incap frame. As long as you give it just enough information, it'll pull it. And type in exit interface 00/0.301 multipoint. Actually, 0/0.301 multipoint. Then notice I didn't type it in correctly. IP address is going to be 172.20.0.139, or yeah, and then 255.255.255.248. Type in frame map IP is going to be 172.20.0.137 is going to go out 301, and that is going to be a broadcast statement. Same thing with 138. That one's going to be 302 because it's going from router 3 to router 2, and from router 1 or from router 3 to router 1. Make sense? Good. And then we're going to do exit and type in interface 00/0 and type in no shut. End. And we're going to wait for things to pop up. We're going to be a little patient here, because last time I did this, things didn't quite work out the way I had intended them to do it. So we're going to slide this guy over, and okay, well, something just came up, and we're going to slide this guy down, well, to right here so you guys can see what's going on. Then we're going to bring this guy back in. We're going to click on router 1. He's over here. And frame map. I'm showing active and active. Good stuff. Good signs. Bring him back over here. And scroll this guy down just a little bit here. And then router 2. It's right here. Last time we checked, he was still deleted. Still deleted? Nope, not anymore. It was able to learn its thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the moment of truth. From router 1, since we have map statements right here, we can just ping from our map statements. 172.20.138. And I can ping 138. What about 139? Can I ping 139? And I can ping 139. Good sign. Good sign. Then we're type. We're gonna end. Or we're gonna do show frame map. The point right now is to see everything that's. Make sure you have full reachability. That's the first thing. Ping 172.20.0.137. I can ping 137. They're a little slow, but that's okay though. They don't have to be super fast. This is just a demonstration purposes. 172.20.0.137. I can get to 137. What about 138? 139, I should say. And success. We have 100% full reachability in the frame network. So with that being said, we're going to type in write mem and be done with that. Same thing with R3, write mem, and R1, write mem. This is what you want to make sure you're doing as you're going through the configuration, is making sure at each step that you actually have connectivity. Because, you could be, a one-shot Charlie and, know every command in Cisco IOS, get everything configured, but if you don't verify it, and then when you go to test and things don't work, then you spend all this time trying to figure out where things didn't go right. So if you verify after each configuration, that will make sure that, okay, this step is done, this step is done, this step is done, that step is done. So eventually you get to a certain point and you're like, that was totally awesome. So we can go ahead and we can kill all of these guys right here. I'm going to scroll this guy up. I'm going to get the PPP configuration. And like I said, once you get this actually situated, life goes pretty quick. So R1, I have a connection to R1 still. And I'm going to bring up a connection to R4. And we're going to bring R4 into the mix. And R4, we're going to scroll down just a little bit. And we're going to start on R4. And we're going to start on show IP interface brief. And we're going to start on serial 0. And show IP interface brief. We're going to start on serial. That may pose a problem. Oh, no, it won't. No, it won't. Sorry, I was about to panic. Serial 1 and serial 2 and serial 01 and 00 on this guy. So we're going to start on serial 1 on both routers so that we have, so it's even on both sides. We know we don't have to second guess anything. So what we're going to do is on R1, we're going to go to global config mode and interface serial 0/1, type encapsulation PPP. First steps first. Now we're going to keep everything shut off. Okay? So we're going to go config T, interface serial 0/1, type in encap PPP. First steps first. Then what we're going to do is we're going to configure IP addresses. IP address is going to be 172.20.0.169. 255.255.255. Anybody care to take a guess what the last octet is? Well, it's a point-to-point connection. It's a /30. What does that equal in binary or in dotted decimal? Very good. You are correct. So, same thing over here. IP address is going to be 172.20.0.170. And we're going to type in 255.255.255.252. We're going to do the 255 dance. Okay, now that one's done. Now, why did I do that? Well, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to set it up one link at a time. So then we're going to do no shut on this guy and then a no shut on this guy. And that brings that up. That brings that up. Wait a few seconds. Type in end. Show IP interface brief. And end. Show IP interface brief. We are up and we are down. Why is that? Why are we up or why are we down? Well, just be patient. It should happen in the next few seconds or so. At least it should. It's be really crappy if it doesn't. Because we configured it point to point. 30 seconds has to go by, which should be right about now. Ish. Scroll up real quick. Still down. Why is that? Same subnet. No shut commands. Cat PPP and cat PPP. Show run interface serial 0/1. Semantics, I tell you. Encapsulation PPP and show run interface 0/1. Cat PPP clock rate. Let's do a show IP interface brief once. Still down. Why is that? I don't know. Show interface 0/1. This will tell us right here. LCP is on listen. Okay. Why is it just listening? We have layer 1, but we don't have layer 2. We are PPP on this side, and we are show interface 0/1. We are on listen. Why is that? I don't know. Weighted fair queue. I don't know. That's kind of goofy. Because we're on the same interface. We're on. Oh, you want to know what? I betcha. I betcha. I may have crossed them. Now that I'm looking at this, let me kill that guy. Yeah, I crossed them. That's what the problem was. It's serial 1 and serial 0. That's why. That's what the problem is. So, actually, it's not really that big of a deal. R1. Let's click on this. R1. Okay, so R1 is on serial 1. We put the wrong configuration on the wrong interface. That's why. Because serial 0 is still shut down. So we're going to go to show run interface serial 0/1. And you'll run into this. It will God honest to happen to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. You know what? I'm gonna cut the video right here so you guys can see where I goofed up, and I'll start another video up where I will fix this, and we'll set it up to where we'll have multiple points. Okay, and then I should be able to go manual and go serial 0/. 2 through... Okay, cool. I was afraid it wasn't going to work. Sometimes GNS3 can be goofy like that if you delete, change something. So yeah, that's what I did. I made the mistake of doing that. It's actually like this. See? Simple movement error. Can do it to you every time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the video right here. I'm going to come right back a couple seconds later and I will record the PPP side of it. And then we'll do what the request has been. OSPF Area 0. And I will show you how frame relay works over OSPF. With that being said, I hope this has been informative for you and I would like to thank you for viewing.